Positivity always wins.
Well, you haven't really lived unless you've been knocked out through hypnotism. I thought, might as well knock him out. And I did.
Oh, I can't believe this. Right, hold on. How did you...
What does it say? When you see those music videos with people with a Bentley in the background and all these stunning looking women dancing, you know, it's just a farce. It's a completely farce. There is no music industry.
I love this, just straight blunt into the reality of life.
I'm saying how it is. Just do it. Why am I teaching you how to do your job?
mumtomillionaire.com.
Hi, it's Veena V and welcome to Mum to Millionaire. This is the place if you want to get motivated and finally take action. And we've got someone today who is going to blow your mind because he used to be a tabla player, used to work in the music industry, and now he's successfully transitioned himself into an amazing magician. Please welcome to the show, Pritpal.
Hello.
Woo, woo, woo. And this is part of Dad season. So thanks for coming on the show.
I am a dad.
You are a dad. You're a dad to 2 kids, 11 and 12.
Yes.
And before you had your children, you were working in the music industry. Tell us about that.
I was essentially a music producer, but my day job was more teaching music. So I am a music teacher by trade, and I play lots of instruments, and I teach those. And in terms of in the music industry as such, there isn't really a music industry, especially for British Asian artists. It's all a sham, really. So whatever when you see those music videos with people with a Bentley in the background and all these stunning looking women dancing, in the video, it's just a farce. It's a completely farce. There is no music industry, but
I love this, just straight blunt into the reality of life.
I'm saying how it is, but
no, but it is true.
For me, I tell you what was real was the process of being able to create music and enjoy it, and that's so powerful, especially when you've got loads of ideas in your mind and you make it come alive through the computer, and you think, hang on a minute, that was in my brain, and now I've made it come alive, and I can listen back to it, and I can make other people listen to my music, and hopefully they appreciate it. That in itself is very powerful and magical.
And you were, sorry, I shouldn't say you were, you are, and you were a fantastic tabla player and music producer, because you did produce music as well.
Yes, I released that.
Actually, I should say how we met. So we first met, it was about 12, oh my God, so old now, about 12 years ago.
When she was 6.
When I was 6. That was actually weird. Yeah. So I used to be a radio presenter.
We split a bottle of milk.
It's like, can you imagine? I used to be a radio presenter, and that's the first time because I interviewed you on my show many years ago. So that's what we used to do. But obviously that was a long time ago, and now you're one of those people that are doing multiple things, but you're doing them so well. Because I think sometimes when I meet people and they're like, oh, I'm an author, I'm a podcaster, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a blogger, and they're like, say about 10 things, but then I'm like, well, what do you actually do? And are you doing any of them well? And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but I think sometimes when you do a lot of things, it's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Pritpal, he kind of breaks the rules there because you're very good.
Thanks.
Everything you're doing. So you've transitioned from what you used to do in the music industry. How did you transition? We'll talk about you being a magician first and then the other stuff a bit later on. How did you make that transition? And why did you even want to get into magic?
So can we talk about the magic after? I'll come into that because it starts with the music.
It's just my show, but it doesn't matter.
I just do it chronologically because magic is the latest.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so regarding the music, yes, I created music and I loved it. And people like Nihal was very, very supportive when he had his show on Radio 1. And I loved that. I loved being able to create music, send it off and listen back to it on radio. It makes you think, wow, your work's being appreciated. And it's really, really nice. And what I really wanted from that was the ability to tour and take the music, all over the world. And that would have been the dream. And I would have loved to have led that life. But I truly felt that there was no infrastructure to celebrate British Asian work. At the most you could have your music played on radio, but it wasn't really, there was no scope to kind of like make a career out of it. It was just hard. I found that there was scope to make a career out through knowledge, so selling music as knowledge, teaching music, teaching instruments. And I also, with that in mind, I actually set up a website called Door Lessons Online. I created it from scratch.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and I know everybody loves the door. I used to get phone calls from all over the world from people that wanted to learn how to play the door. And I thought, okay, that's just another customer I've lost. That's another customer I've lost because I can't access them.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be amazing to target them and access them from the comfort of their own home, even though a million miles away? So I made this website called Door Lessons Online. It's like a video tutorial library. A bit like lynda.com. So what it does is like it's like a screen split in half. Half of the screen is me playing the lesson really slowly. And the other half of the screen is the notes written on the screen, and there's a little red circle that scrolls across the notes.
Oh, that's so cool.
As you play, it's like a karaoke style of learning. So it's intentionally designed for non-musical students. So I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to make, because I'm a by trade a primary school teacher, so I understand the science behind how people learn. So I thought, I need to take that skill set and teach people how to play the doll drum. So I put this website together, and now it's got like over 5,000 subscribers all around the world.
Wow.
And it's
is that still going today?
Oh, yeah, it's massive.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's 7 years old. The website is 7 years old, and it's got 5,000 subscribers. And people have tried to hack into the website so many times.
Oh, that's not very nice.
So I had to update it to a very, very secure server, and it's monitored on a daily basis. And people are trying to hack it all the time, because where there's a website where there's money's involved, then they always try to hack into it. So yeah, it's going really, really strong.
I always forget that there are actually people like that out there that will try and hack in and get people's information.
Yes.
That's horrible. Yeah. But that's great, because even back then, so 7 years ago, you were still thinking about ways you could diversify yourself and make that multiple. And I think this is the thing, like some people will do, and this is why in a way, and my dad said this to me the other day, he was like, Veena, you would have been so bored if you were still working in the radio industry. Because I would just be, even though working, as you know, in that kind of industry, it's amazing because you meet different people, but it's this really is the same thing every day.
Yeah.
But I love what I do now, because you can literally create something and then put it out there, and there's no one saying, hey, you can't do that. You can just do it. Okay, so what was the transition after that stage then?
I always had a love of magic. I've always been fascinated with magic, and I've been doing dabbling in little dodgy tricks here and there. But even those dodgy tricks, I used to, when I was doing my teacher training, I was showing it to my class, or full of 5-year-olds, and they were just mesmerized by it, and it was a good way to get them to behave. And it really was. And I had their complete devotion and attention in class, because I was threatening them with a magic trick at the end, or using it as a dangling the carrot on a stick, like a reward for behaving really well. And so that worked really, really well. But then I just enjoyed it. And then so what happened in 2014, I decided to spend that whole year working on my album, and I released the album at the end of the year. And from that project, I was so proud of putting this album together, and it was just such a beautiful year. And it was a culmination of all my musical experiences and knowledge and skill sets, and putting together this piece of musical work. And I was so happy with it, but I was disheartened as well, because like I said, there was no infrastructure to celebrate that piece of musical work. So then I thought, okay, I now need to divert my attention from that and focus on something else that I want to do. And I thought, what else do I love? And I thought, I love magic. And I thought, right, but I want to be really, really good at magic, and I want to be an amazing practitioner of it. So then I went out of my way to learn it properly, and it was an incredible journey how to learn it. And
how did you learn it? Because I think, and by the way, you've got to keep watching this video, because at the end we are going to show, well, not me, Pritpal is going to show you them. You're going to be like, what? How did he do that? And if you're listening to this on the iTunes, make sure you come over to the YouTube channel and check this out. But how did you learn to be a magician? Because when I just watch anything that you do, I'm just like, But how did he do it? And you must have spent literally thousands of hours learning. So what is the process to learning something new? And that is a complete career change in itself. So number one, how long did it actually take you? And I know you're still learning now, different new tricks. And yeah, just what was the reality of doing that as well when you're trying to, I don't know if you were working at the time as well and you might have had a full-time job. How did that all kind of work out?
Yeah, I was still teaching music during the day, so I still had my day job. But regarding the magic, I think the best way to learn it is you have to be very creative. You have to be a creative mind, and you have to be able to think outside the box. So I would watch magic on TV, and first time I'd watch it, I'd be wowed by it. I'm like, wow, that's the most incredible thing. Then I'd re-watch it over and over, and I'll try and work out possible ways and how it's done. And then I'll kind of like apply it in kind of like a close-up setting, in a real life setting, and I think, hang on a minute, that worked really, really well. And they just develop ideas, and that's the best way to learn, you know, as well as like reading books and, you know, watching other people do it and stuff. And
I think a lot of people's question is, when you are obviously like a dad, or when you're still working, how do you manage to actually fit in the learning time? Because and I talk to a lot of people, if they're working a 9 to 5, then they come home, then might have to deal with the kids for a bit, or if they've got a partner, they might deal with them. But then usually by the time it hits about 9 o'clock, most people are like, just want to watch a bit of TV and go to sleep. So what's the reality in the sense of like, how did you get that energy to keep on learning? Was it a weekend thing? How did you actually, it sounds like a silly question, but how did you put in the time and effort to do that?
I think the key word for me is desire. I'm very, very goal driven, and I want to achieve a lot. So with magic I just enjoyed it. It's like when you say some people come home and they watch TV. For me, doing the magic was my TV. It was like, yeah, man, I want to you know, I see someone do this. I thought, yeah, I want to do that. I want to know how to pull a card out of a phone and just like, you know, make it come alive. Yeah. You know, and I was thinking, like, for me, it's like a puzzle which I had to solve. Yeah. Or I wouldn't sleep at night.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my team.
Was that your motivation then as well?
Yes.
Like, and did you think, actually, do you know what, in my life, this is what I want to do? So,
you know, as I mentioned before, for me, I just wanted to become that professional musician and travel the world and take my music all over the world. Because that plan didn't materialize, then I thought, okay, let me focus on one of my other loves, which is magic. And I just found that the results were more tangible. I just felt that more people were blown away by it. Yeah. And with music, it's like, there was no way to push it forward, if you like. But with music, it's restricted to the genre. So if you don't particularly like the genre, you're not really going to want to listen to that music. But with magic, it can access and transcend so many different social circles. Yeah. You know, you can access, you know, the elite, the very privileged sections of society, to, you know, your next door neighbor. Everybody loves magic. You know, some people don't genuinely love magic. You might be one of those people watching thinking, "No, I can't stand it." There are some people that actually don't like magic, but most people, I think, in general, people love magic,
because it's that thing of like, we don't know, how did you do it?
Yeah, it's so powerful. The best way to explain it is what you're doing when you show someone a piece of magic. You're giving them a gift, which doesn't cost anything. And we live in a 3-dimensional world, and suddenly what you're doing, you're gifting somebody a 4th-dimensional experience. Yeah. And that's so powerful, because you show them something amazing and you don't want anything in return. Yeah. If anything, people will like hunt you down and say, hang on a minute, what you did was amazing. I've got a wedding coming up in the family. I want you at that wedding. Yeah. And that has happened to you, hasn't it? Yeah. So last year I was in Morocco, and I was staying at this amazing hotel. As a result of magic, I got to stay in that hotel for free as a result of magic, which is incredible. Just because I did a show for them and they let me stay for like 6 nights at the Radisson, which was great. Whilst I was there, I met this couple, Josh and Bex, an amazing couple, and I showed them some magic, and they absolutely loved it. And they said, right, when we actually get married, because they were celebrating their engagement, and said, when we get married, we're gonna fly you over to Italy to perform at our wedding. Wow. And they did. And in 2017, they flew me out to Milan, and it was an hour's drive from the airport, in the most stunning, scenic resort, and like lots of mountains and hills. All the pictures are on my Instagram. And I performed at their wedding. It was amazing.
Wow. I think the lesson here as well is that sometimes you really do have to go for and put in that effort in what you believe you can, how you can affect people. So the whole your purpose, your why. And some people think it's a bit cheesy always talking about that, but I don't think anyone will truly be successful and happy if they don't actually go for what they should be going for. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. And you have to enjoy what you do, because if you don't enjoy it, there's no way you're going to spend time on it. You have to really love what you do. Otherwise, it's just going to be chore, and eventually you'll get tired and just not do it.
What other advice would you give to parents out there who do want to do that career change, and what else did you do to get to the stage you were at? I know you said obviously you would come home and you would practice magic, but did you go and work for free for a magician, or was there any specific courses or anything that you had to do? Were there anything you did that people might not be thinking, oh yeah, I could go and do that and apply that to a new job I want to do?
So in terms of the learning process, most of it is self-taught.
Yeah.
And reading a lot of books and just trying to better your craft. Once I felt I had enough material to like keep people sort of entertained for quite a while, then I thought, okay, now I need to road test this. So I was literally just going out anywhere and everywhere, from the street to shisha bars, and filming it and getting my friends to like literally film me. And I wanted to film reactions, and I would watch the footage back again and again, thinking, okay, this bit went well, that didn't go quite well, that needs to be tweaked and fixed and everything. And I just kind of refined my set over and over and over. And I passionately enjoyed watching the footage over and over. And I really enjoyed watching people react to the magic as well.
Yeah.
And that is so powerful, watching people react to it. And the fact that you can make someone's jaw drop is a powerful feeling.
And I think that is a key point, what you just said. And I think this is a step, I don't want to call it a step, but something that a lot of people don't do. They will go out, let's take YouTube as an example. People might be like, yes, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and they keep filming the videos, but then they never look back and analyze what they've done good, where they might, what they can do better. And I think that's the kind of mistake in a way that a lot of people make. So at least a lot of people wouldn't actually, I know to you it might be an obvious thing, but you actually did that. It was like, right, I'm going to look back at the footage now and see where people are reacting and where aren't they. Do you think that's actually made you improve at a faster rate by doing that? By analysing what you've done and bringing that forward?
That, and also the desire to want to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lots and lots of footage, and it's always there, and just watching that footage just inspires you to just be the best you can be. And it's so enjoyable, and it gives you the confidence knowing now that you have a skill set that wows people, because there's not that many skill set out there that wows people. And in people's everyday life, they don't go through experiences where they're wowed. Suddenly you come along and you do something that makes them go, oh my God, how did that happen? How did he change this amount of money to that amount of money? How did he... But I had the 4 of clubs in my hand, so how did it suddenly change to the 6 of diamonds whilst it was in my hand? You know, it's very powerful to experience that. And and now for me, like, obviously I'm constantly trying to progress and get better and better.
Yeah.
So for me now, the next phase is hypnotism. I find I find that so powerful, and that's the next phase of what I'm doing.
I actually watched something on your Instagram of this, and I was like, is this real? So I will explain. Maybe I'm not very good at explaining things, but I went on Pritpal's Instagram, and I think you in Ukraine?
I was in Ukraine.
And I don't know, was this just a random guy at the train station or something?
Oh, he was like a part of a group of friends. So we just went to see Justice League.
Okay.
And he was saying that like Batman's one of his favourite characters.
And then you just did this thing where you just went, rah! That's literally what Pritpal did. He just kind of like got him in this weird headlock or whatever you want to call it. And then this guy just pretended like he was Batman. But even that, I think that's even a step above the magic. Because you're like, what the hell? Again, it's like, what the hell?
Well, you haven't really lived unless you've been knocked out through hypnotism. I thought, might as well knock him out. I did.
You're not going to do anything like that today. Don't. Can you imagine? Okay.
You're a butterfly.
No, butterfly in my dress. Okay. So you're learning that at the moment. Well, you can do it, but you're just trying to get better and better at that.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about, so you're now this fully qualified magician, but you're not just stopping at that. You are doing lots of different things at the same time. So you still got your Tumblr website, so your Doll website. Yeah. You're doing the magic, but you also work on different projects. Tell us about that, and also the reason why you're doing that.
Yes. So during the day, I'm teaching music for the NHS. I work with young people and adults who have severe mental health problems. These are people who are on suicide watch, and you go in and you teach them music, but you also you show them magic as well, and they love it. They absolutely love it, and it makes them feel good about their day. Hey, Sky's coming in, Prithpa's coming in. Sky, by the way, is my magician name, and Prithpa is my real name, but most people call me Sky even at work because it's very easy to pronounce. So when they know I'm coming in, they'll be so excited and so happy, and that makes me feel good. That thing, he's coming in, he's going to entertain us, he's going to do some magic, he's going to teach us music, he's going to help us shoot a music video, and that's very, very powerful.
And I think that's amazing, again, what you're doing, because you're living on your purpose, and you're using your skill that you've now learned to actually help people, and you're also making money from it. This is great. Talk to us how you actually got that, because I think a lot of people, again, they might go down the traditional ways of getting clients, but for you, getting that contract, because you are very good at what you do, and do you know what, I need to say this, because you're a nice person as well. I think nice people,
thanks, mate.
I think nice people always win in the end. Positivity always wins. Okay, we need to look at different ways how to get clients. It's not just sometimes the case of cold calling someone, can I do magic for you, or can I do this and that? How you're getting different contracts and clients is that you might perform somewhere for someone, and it's being rememberable. You know what word I'm trying to say. Memorable, that's it.
Like with the hospitals, I thought to myself, I literally just, actually, it's weird what happened. I was teaching, I did some music I was teaching music in a pupil referral unit, which is a school just for very, very naughty children. And I got a phone call from another school, a hospital school. So in mental hospitals, you have hospital schools. And I got a phone call from them saying, hey, you taught in a pupil referral unit, which is one of our sister schools. And they spoke very highly of you. So could you come in and do something for us? I said, all right. And they said, look, I did like a taster session, and then the head teacher said, look, let's just do like a half a term sort of trial. I said, all right, great. And then that ended up being a 7-year stint, 7-year gig, which was brilliant. And then, but from that, it's like, other hospitals, I just approached other hospitals, say, look, I'm already teaching in this hospital, and I was just wondering if you might want it as well. And the fact that I had my foot in door in one hospital, it kind of gave me leverage to say, and plus they were kind enough to speak highly of me as well. So the references were there. And also I'd go in there, do tasters and stuff, show them magic and blow them away, and show them how to create music on the computer, and make them think, oh, okay, enough to demonstrate that I had secure subject knowledge. I'm a nice person. I can wow them with magic. So there's a lot of skills being demonstrated, And
when you were contacting these other hospitals, was that a pure case of literally cold calling or emailing them?
Instead of cold calling and emailing them, I actually went there in person.
Wow.
I hunted them down.
Hunted them down?
Yeah, you have to do that. I was literally just knocking on them to say, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do. Literally in their face. And that's exactly what it was.
And again, that's going the extra mile. Yeah. Because a lot of people, again, a lot of people now, they don't even call. It'll literally be like email.
Say? No.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
But the other pitch I made to them was, so when I approached, what I did in the first hospital was, with the service users, I shot music videos with them. So I've got all these young people, and even the medical staff, even the doctors, the psychiatric, the staff, I've got them dancing with the service users, the mental patients in a music video with a piece of work that they've created. and I've shot it, color graded it, make it look really high end industry standard. And I'm taking that to the other hospital, say, look, this is what I've done in the other hospitals. This is what I can do in your hospital. So I'm trying to get them to visualize and see what I can do with it. And also, it's like, not only is it very therapeutic for the service users, but then they can show it off to their funding team and say, look, this is the great work we create in our hospital. And that was the pitch.
And I think, again, there's such a great point in terms of, even if you are cold emailing someone, put a link to something where you can show people, whether it be a video or an article or something where you can give people more information. But I think the key is visual. If someone can see what it's going to be like, even if you're a trainer like me and you go somewhere, do a video of you, like a 1 minute clip of you training, just so people can see what you're doing. Isn't it?
Yeah.
This has been amazing, Pritpal.
It has.
I want us to round this up, because I think you are such a great inspiration of changing your career, doing it successfully. Are you happy with your life at the moment?
I am happy.
Good. This is what I like to interview, happy people, because it's not just about the money, I feel.
No, you have to really enjoy what you do. What you do. And the important thing is to find your purpose and see it through. And my accountant, he says, you've got to be in it to win it. You have to, because like when you first start,
I love it, like the accountant said.
Yeah, it's true, because you're self-employed as well. You do what you do, and when you first start, it's hard to get the contracts and and
even now I still have to. I don't like using the word hustle, but you still have to go in and say, look, I've done this. Can I now do this for you? Yeah. It's all about building. Like we said, never be afraid to ask. What is going to happen? Yeah,
and when I first started, I had nothing. I was earning zero.
Yeah.
Literally zero. I had no money. But in my head, I visualized, this is what I'm going to be able to do. Yeah. I said, I know I'm very, very good I've got very good subject knowledge in music, and I'm good at I've released music, and I can take that industry standard knowledge to people's doorsteps. Yeah. And I thought, that's my pitch.
I think you are, though, a great example in anything you want to do in your life. If you want to change your career, whatever you're doing, is always find different ways to make money. Because even when you were doing the music side of stuff, you were still being a teacher, and you made this website. And even now you're being a magician, but you're not just going out and trying to get famous on Instagram or whatever. Yes, you want a good social media following, but you're doing all this other amazing stuff that's to do with magic as well. What would be your final tips for mums and dads out there who do want to change their career? They might be in a corporate job right now and they want to be running their own business, or maybe they want to do something creative like you and they have a passion for magic or making videos or whatever it is. What would be your kind of lasting bit of advice and tips to them?
Well, we all have financial commitments and responsibilities. So I think, whatever you're doing, stick with it and pursue your love on top of that. That's my best advice. Don't just jump ship, do both, because you need money coming in. And then when you feel your new project is building and you're realizing an income stream, and if you feel the time's right, then jump ship if you want to. With me, I haven't actually jumped ship. I'm doing lots of different things. I'm juggling lots of different things, and I'm happy to do all of them, because with magic, you don't know when someone's going to call you and say, we want to book you for a thing. You're not going to get a gig every single day, not unless you're David Copperfield. But I'm still, I'm still working, building my brand. So, and a lot of the money I make through magic, I'm just reinvesting it back into marketing and branding. So, like when wedding exhibitions take place, I'm exhibiting as a supplier. So you have to reinvest a lot of your money.
Another good point. You've so many good tips you have in this interview. Think outside the box. I would never think that there would be a magician at a wedding exhibition, but that is thinking outside the box, because, and by the way, that's how I saw you recently, because at our mutual friend's wedding, you were doing magic there. And even then, Pritpal was like the attraction. Everyone's like, oh my God, everyone come round, he's doing a trick. And even those tricks that he did at our friend's wedding people will still talk about it now.
That's Neeraj, by the way, who's
Hi Neeraj, we love you so much.
He's the best composer in this country.
He actually is.
Neeraj Chag.
I need to get him on this podcast, yes. I think, because he's very, and actually we should get him on because he wants to talk about meditation. We've never talked about that on the podcast before. Yeah. So we're going to get you on, Niraj. Niraj will probably never watch this, so what would be your final bit of motivation for parents if they're feeling a little bit low right now? They're like, do you know what? I could never do what Pritpal's doing. I could never do a video. I could never do my dream. What would you say?
If you're feeling low, eat clean and exercise and drink lots of water. Because that works for me.
No, seriously, is that?
If you eat clean, you think clean. And
actually, yeah. I don't know why I'm laughing. Sometimes I just laugh when it's not even funny. But that is true.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm feeling so rubbish and my son has done something to annoy me, if I just do a bit of like workout at home, I don't even go to the gym anymore, it makes me feel 100 times better.
Yeah.
It gets me out of going on that downward spiral and I just feel good. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, mate.
We're going to put all your links on the website. Where's the best place to get for people to, if they want to see your magic?
skymagician.com, skymagician.com. I'm on Instagram as well, skymagic_UK. Facebook as well, magic.sky.uk. On which Veena just got... Well,
you're going to see it now. We're going to go into this. If you're listening to this, why am I talking like a robot? If you're listening to this interview on iTunes, then make sure you pop over to the YouTube channel, which we are here right now. Mum to Millionaire, just type that into YouTube and you can see the trick we're about to do. But thank you for coming on. Let's get into the trick. mumtomillionaire.com for all of the show notes. We'll see you later. Bye. Well, she wouldn't say bye because now we're going into the trick. And
that was good.
Well done. You were so good. You gave a lot of good information.
That was amazing. I'll give you that.
mumtomillionaire.com.
Okay, hello. We are now going to do a magic trick with the amazing Sky Magician.
So did you shuffle these cards just now?
I did shuffle them.
You shuffled them?
I did.
Okay, fantastic. So here's the idea. Just say stop anytime you want.
Stop.
Great, take it. Yeah, but don't show it to anyone. Just take it here, but don't show it to anyone.
Right. Don't show it to them. Am I supposed to show it to?
Well, you could just look at it yourself for now. Just
right, okay.
And
right.
Have you got your mobile phone on you?
Yeah.
So go on your Facebook.
Right, okay.
And
so personal. Yeah, do you want to be my friend?
All right.
Right, okay.
And on the search tab, just look, 2 separate words, Sky Magic.
Right.
Great. Now, if we just turn the camera, just show it to the camera for a second. This is my page. Ta-da!
Can they see? Hold on. Oh, this is good promo. There we go. This is good promo. That's why this has nothing to do with the trick.
That's one, exactly. Now, look, if we just slowly scroll
Maybe
up,
I should like his page. Hold on.
Yeah, if you
just...
There we go. Hey, you got my page. Right, now, if we just scroll up now. Oh, look, it's a post that's posted an hour ago.
Right, okay.
Have a read of that. What does it say?
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, I'm going to read what this says, okay? Maybe you should see it, right? Can you see this? It's not going to focus now. Right, you have to believe, right, it says, heading out now to see Veena with her, I can't say that word. Charismatic personality. I think she'll pick the 4 of diamonds. Oh, what a nice black dress. How did you...
What does it say?
Oh, I can't believe this. Right, hold on. Right, hold on. On Facebook it says, I'm going to put a screenshot of this. Heading out now to see Veena with her charismatic personality. I think she'll pick the 4 of diamonds, which I picked. Oh, and a nice black dress. What is that, butterflies? How did he know? How is that actually possible? No, but how did you do that?
I slept in a forecourt last night.
How did you do
You never know that.
No, but how do you do things like that? That's so weird. Is that real?
It was posted an hour ago, right?
Oh, I can't explain that. Amazing magician, so make sure you follow him. How did you do that? Oh no, hold on. Did you already see me an hour ago? What time did you come to my house? No, you weren't even here then. He wasn't even at my house an hour ago. That's so weird. I don't understand. I'm not even going to try and work that out. There you go.
It's all time.